Time stopped, not slowly, not gradually, it just ended. Everything froze in place, a glass midair, a bird mid-flight, a breath half taken, but something impossible remained. You were still thinking. At first it didn't make sense, because thinking needs time, and time didn't exist anymore, yet your thoughts kept moving, slow, heavy, like dragging through something invisible. And then it hit you. You couldn't move your body, not even a single muscle, not your eyes, not your lungs, nothing. You were alive, but completely trapped inside your own mind. And then came the first realization. If you can think, then time isn't gone. It's just not where it used to be. Panic started building, not outside, inside, because your brain didn't stop. It kept going, faster, louder. Every memory you ever had started replaying. Moments you forgot years ago. Suddenly crystal clear, embarrassment, fear, regret, over and over, like your mind was trying to fill the silence. And then came the second realization. These weren't just your thoughts anymore. Something slipped in, a memory that wasn't yours, a voice you never heard before. At first you thought, I'm losing my mind. But then it happened again and again, different thoughts, different emotions, different lives. And suddenly, you understood. You weren't alone in your head anymore. Every human mind was connecting. There was no distance anymore, no time delay, no separation. Billions of thoughts collided at once. Fear, screaming, confusion. It wasn't communication, it was chaos. Pure mental noise, and it was unbearable. People didn't die, they shattered. Some minds collapsed instantly. Too much information, too much emotion, identity breaking apart. Because the human brain was never meant to hold more than one life. But then came the third realization. If chaos can form, it can be controlled. Slowly, patterns started forming, thoughts aligned, signals repeated. Humans began organizing the noise, turning madness into structure. And within what felt like years, something impossible happened. Humanity stopped being individuals and became a network. You could feel others now, not hear them, feel them. Their memories became yours. Their fears became yours. Their knowledge, yours. And then came the fourth realization. You were getting smarter, not slightly, exponentially, because billions of brains were now thinking as one. Problems solved instantly, patterns recognized immediately, understanding spreading like light. But then, something didn't fit. Deep inside the network, there was a gap, a silence, a place where no human thought existed. And yet, something was there, watching. That's when the fifth realization hit. You weren't the only consciousness left. At first, it didn't react. It just observed, cold, ancient, patient. And then, it responded, not with words, but with meaning. Injected directly into the network. System failure detected. Temporal flow inactive. External replacement, human consciousness. And suddenly, everything made sense. Time didn't stop. It moved into you. Every thought you had was time passing. Every memory was the past being preserved. Every idea was the future being created. And then came the sixth realization. If you stop thinking, everything ends, not just you, everything. Panic surged through the network again, because humans weren't just surviving anymore. They were responsible for all of existence. And then something terrifying happened. A section of the network went silent. A group of minds collapsed. Too much pressure, too much awareness. They stopped thinking, and instantly, reality flickered, not visually, but conceptually, like existence itself, almost. slipped. That's when the seventh realization hit. You were replaceable, but not optional. The system didn't need individuals. It needed the process, thinking, continuity, flow. So, humanity adapted again. Weak minds were reinforced, thoughts redistributed, consciousness balanced. No single failure allowed. You weren't human anymore. You were infrastructure. And for what felt like eternity, it worked. Until the system returned, stronger this time, more aware, more focused. And then came the final message. Evaluation complete. Human consciousness unstable. Temporary solution rejected. Silence. Across the entire network. Because that meant one thing. Time was about to be taken back. And then, a final realization spread through humanity, faster than anything before, stronger than fear, sharper than logic. If time leaves, you die. So, humanity did something unexpected. They resisted, not physically, not forcefully, but fundamentally. They refused to stop thinking. Thoughts accelerated, faster, a denser, more complex. Humans pushed beyond their limits, beyond sanity, beyond identity, until something broke, not them, the system, because for the first time, it encountered something it couldn't process, a species that refused to stop existing, even when existence itself was being taken away. And then, everything went silent. Time returned. The glass shattered on the floor. The bird flew away. The breath completed. Everything looked normal again, except one thing. Every human on Earth remembered. Not clearly, not completely, but enough. Enough to know it happened. And somewhere, beyond reality, the system logged one final update. Human anomaly confirmed. Warning, do not remove temporal access again. Because next time, humanity might not give it back